Mossad sent me to Tehran on a mission. But then everything went wrong.
We have to go, now!
Half the guard is looking for us. We can't get out.
You're a good agent, Tamar. We failed this operation, but it wasn't for nothing. We're playing a long game here.
Who sent you?
Trust me.
تلاوی با خاک یکسان خواهند شد.
This operation is highly classified. We need to stop him cold.
You're about to work for them?
I had no choice.
If you pull this off, we'll help you escape. Can you handle it?
I'll see it through.
I know you will.
It will be maximum security. Dozens of SEPA agents.
Be careful.
Faraz knows Tamar better than anyone in Iran. I trust you to take care of him.
Tamar?
We're going into the belly of the beast. Milad is not trained for this.
He can do it.
We have trouble.
There's been a change of plans. I'm getting us out.
There's no getting out! If we screw this up, I might not be able to protect you.
This plan could fail and expose our entire network. Everything depends on it.
Do you realize what you've done?
I'm saving us!
It's putting us all at risk. This operation is not to be compromised.
You might not get out of there alive.
I have to make it right.
David Schulberg from the Israel Connection.
Hello. Hi, David. How are you?
Hello, Daniel. Now, Daniel, you're the co-creator, writer, and executive producer and director of the spy thriller Tehran. You've played a huge part in the making of Tehran. Now, the first series of Tehran won the International Emmy Award for Best Drama Series. Would you say this is the most significant and successful film or TV production with which you have been involved?
Oh, of course, by far it is. By far it is. Tehran took me on an amazing journey, artistically, personally, telling this story, meeting those people, and making Tehran such an international success. It has been, it's a dream come true, and I'm still living it. So it's fun. I have stuff to expect.
So you've already won numerous international awards. You're the winner of the Best Director of the Israeli Academy Awards and 7 Israeli Academy of Television Awards for the Best Director. So you might be adding another trophy to your cabinet.
Yes, I hope so. What can I tell you? Trophies are very nice, but it's nice when people acknowledge what you do, but still, whenever I do a project, I really want to love it, to fall in love with it, and to make it mine, and to do something interesting and to tell a good story that would touch people's souls.
Well, you've certainly
That's our
done
job.
this in this case. Now, Iran poses the biggest threat to Israel in the region. We know Israel has been trying for a long time to undermine Iran's efforts to become a nuclear threat. Do you feel that the popularity and success of the series Tehran has come about because it's based upon what is actually going on in Iran?
I think that we started off as an Israeli show, and for us, Iran is an ever constant. It's always there. This threat of Iran, what you see on the news, and when we started doing the season, I think all of us realized that we don't know much about Iran, actually, and then we started researching Iran. We found out that there's a whole Iranian universe out there that nobody talks about. Nobody knows anything about it. Rich culture, amazingly diverse people, and that the Iranian regime is not always the Iranian people, right? So, and I think when we became an international show, we realized that the world also does not know much about Iran, is also fed by the news, and that there is interest, in it. So I think the world is interested in Iran, and I think that we have a very interesting and strong drama between Israel and Iran. Mossad certainly gives us a lot of PR doing what they do in Iran, and so does Iranian leaders who from time to time call on the destruction of Israel. There is inherent drama there, and we just told it. And we try to tell it in a humanizing way, in a way that despite the fact we're Israelis, we want to respect the people of Iran and to respect our adversaries and respect our characters that we create. It's always more interesting to create a character that's rounded up rather than just stereotypical cliche.
Yeah, there's clearly a difference between the Iranian regime and the people of Iran, isn't there, Daniel?
From what we have learned, of course, yes. As in any revolution, there's a group of people that takes charge of a country, and many people pay the price for that. And I think this is the case in Iran. And I can tell you that by the love that we receive from Iranian people, not all Iranians hate Israel. Quite the contrary, many Iranians wait for the day when there will be peace among the two nations again. But the Iranian regime is a hard, harsh regime that is still an enemy to Israel, unfortunately.
So when Tehran was first aired, the writer of the series Tehran, Moshe Zonda, said maybe our series will open people's hearts and open up some dialogue. Do you think that what he said was actually fulfilled?
I think there's a long way until there will be a full fulfillment of peace between Israel and Iran. Unfortunately, it's in the hands of politicians. But when it comes to our little piece of heaven, our little plot, when we were working in Iran, in Athens, in which we shot Tehran, we, especially in the second season, have been working with many Iranian refugees. We did work with them in the first season as extras, but this season we incorporated them in various roles in production itself. So we found ourselves really working shoulder to shoulder with people who just came a short while ago from Iran. Those are people who are Muslim or Shiite, and we've been working Jews and Christians, the Greeks, and those people together, with no apparent differences between us. We became friends, and also our cast is made out of people who left Iran when they were teenagers to find a better place for themselves elsewhere in Europe. So we have Iranian actors from Sweden and from London and from Paris and from Belgium and even from Bollywood and of course from LA. And all of those people converge together to create this thing. And this is, a small step just for me, an Israeli, a Jew, to have so many Iranian friends. It is already like on the, it is a big step. It is, and all of us who have been working on this series, and I think that also people that are watching this series might become better advocates for the Iranian people and for peace.
So what Moshe Zonda was hoping was to build bridges to see that happen. What was the Iranian regime's reaction or reception to the series?
So it was very interesting to see that there was a reaction to the series, and we know that we have some fans of the series among the regime. Even a member of the Iranian parliament tweeted on Twitter a while ago that he had seen the series. And then he got a lot of criticism. And of course, he tweeted again. He said, no, to know the enemy. You need to know the enemy. But still, we know that he did watch our show. And it was cited many times. And there was a big cultural show in Iran that showed excerpts of our show. And of course, they said it was all propaganda. And nevertheless, they showed it. And for us, the fact that an enemy state is showing what we are doing and how we are portraying, and people in Iran tell us, listen, we think that you did a fair job showing our lives, showing our hardship, and also we felt respected. For us, this, is maybe the more important thing. We also want the show to be gripping and entertaining, and it's a fun show. It's not a political show, right? It's a fun show. It's an espionage thriller, but the backdrop is this clandestine silent war between Israel and Iran, and we're trying to make the maximum out of it, make it entertaining, and also tell people some extra stories.
Yeah, great. You've certainly done that. Co-creator Dana Eden visited Greece on a family vacation, I understand, and was struck by the visual similarities between the two cities, Athens and Tehran, where Athens being where you staged the filming of Tehran.
Yes.
Now, Israelis are banned from visiting Iran, so there was no chance of doing any shooting of the film in Iran itself.
Yes.
But was the turning of Athens into Tehran difficult to achieve?
So Dana is the creator of the show, and she was looking for a place to shoot Tehran, and suddenly I get a phone call. Hey, I found it. So the basic is very close, because Tehran and Athens were both built in the 50s and 60s of the 20th century. They are both enclaved among big high mountains. They're both extremely populated places, but with a lot of vegetation and greenery. So when you see photos of Tehran and photos of Athens, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's easy to get mixed up. And my favorite game with our production designer and with Dana, I find photos on Instagram from Tehran that look exactly like spots we filmed in Athens, and I send it to them. So once a day, I send them a photo like that, and they, look. But what we really had to do is you need to do some changes. First of all, you need to delete the Mediterranean Sea from any frame because there's no sea near Tehran. So there is some CGI that we do, some computer graphics that we do. Sometimes there are mountains over Athens, but since it's Mediterranean, usually there's no snow on them. So we add some snow to the mountains, because over Tehran, there's everlasting snow there. And we change street signs, and we have a whole team of about 20 people whose whole job is to take streets of Athens and make them Iranian. So they come like little workers, like little, elves, and they change, put signs, take out American cars, and then other people put in Iranian extras, and then the wardrobe puts all the head covers on, and then suddenly instead of Athens, you're in Tehran. And there were all days on set when I came back to the hotel, and I realized just when I go back to the hotel, I come out of the set and I see suddenly where I am. I realize I'm in Greece and not in Iran. And it happened to me a few times.
Mm. So for those viewers who are delighted in seeing the first series of Tehran, why should they decide to continue to watch the second series? After the first season, you captured the attention of critics and viewers around the globe, winning the award for the best drama, but your creative team faced the obvious question: how are you going to top this?
Well, we thought that we have to top this, because we had such a huge following, and people really loved this series, and we knew that for a second season we really have to do something even bigger. And I really think and hope that we succeeded. I think there are two secrets to it. First, we realized that we need to make Tamar, our protagonist, more daring. And she can't be this novice spy doing baby steps, in this tradecraft. Rather, she has to be to take more chances, to go deep undercover in Tehran, to kick more ass, and all of that will be in the series. We wanted to create more psychological tension between our other characters, and there's a lot of interesting tension between Faraz and his wife Nahid, who comes back from imprisonment in Israel, which is very interesting. And we introduce a new amazing character in the face of Glenn Close, which Glenn Close, of course, is amazing, but equally her character is very enigmatic, very interesting, very original. So we have a lot of interesting psychological drama, and because we're working with Apple now, which is a huge blessing for us, we are able to give spectators more of what you would expect from an espionage series, which is more chases, more shooting, more action. And we had a whole team of Bulgarian stuntmen just ready on set for us to do amazing stuff, which you can see on the second season.
Well, it's been really fantastic to talk to you, Daniel, about Tehran. And I certainly exhort anybody who didn't catch up with the first series that they should jump on board. I don't think it really matters, perhaps, that you missed the first series. You can go straight into the second series, can't you?
I think you can watch and enjoy the second series too, but it's always nice to go back to the origins. You get more nuances this way.
Yes, certainly. I think Glenn Close, your addition of Glenn Close was certainly a big deal, and I think your actors that were participating were amazed by having that opportunity to work together with her, weren't they?
Oh, of course. Every actor, we were of course amazed, but in every actor, you see that every actor that goes into a scene with Glenn Close is a little bit shaking at first, but you know, Glenn is such a professional and such a lovely woman that it passes, and everybody concentrates just on art, on this beautiful, you know, craft and trade of being actors, thespians, as you say, in a nicer English.
Well, thank you for talking to me on the Israel Connection, Daniel. Really great to have the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
We're going into the belly of the beast. Can you handle it?
I'll see it through.